Very good morning, students. In today's class, we will continue the chapter Alcohols, Phenols and Ethers, in which we completed up to oxidation of alcohols. We know already oxidation of alcohols will form aldehydes or ketones, in which primary alcohols will be converted to aldehydes, secondary alcohols will be converted to ketones. Up to that, oxidation of alcohols we have seen in the previous class. In today's class, we will start the topic that is reactions of phenols. We will start the topic that is reactions of phenols. Phenols will mainly undergo electrophilic substitution reactions, in which in our 11th class we know in what way benzene will undergo electrophilic substitution reactions. We have totally 5 electrophilic substitution reactions. Those are nitration, sulfonation, bromination, Friedel-Crafts alkylation and Friedel-Crafts acylation. These are the 5 electrophilic substitution reactions which were undergone by benzene ring. But in the same 11th class we know when any already substituent present on the benzene ring, okay, that already present substituent will be of 2 types. That is ortho-para directing group or meta-directing group. Electron donating group is called ortho-para directing group and electron withdrawing group is called meta-directing group. Depending on that, we can say whether we are going to get ortho product, para product or meta product, we can say. Okay, now on this benzene ring, coming to the point of phenol, on this benzene ring we have OH group, in which oxygen present here contains 2 lone pairs of electrons, out of which it will donate one of the lone pair of electrons into the benzene ring, and that oxygen is behaving as electron donating group when it is present on benzene ring. So because of that, OH group is called electron donating group. Because of that, OH is called electron donating group. Electron donating group will activate which positions? Ortho and para positions. So when this phenol undergoes electrophilic substitution reactions, we will get the products, those are ortho and para substituted products. Now we will say what are the electrophilic substitution reactions this phenol will undergo and what are the products we are going to get. Now coming to the reactions, we will see one. Now let us continue this one. When this phenol undergoes reaction with dilute HNO3, and this process is called nitration. In electrophilic substitution reactions, we have nitration is the first reaction, in which for benzene ring we have used concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4 as the reagent. But here already OH group is present, which is highly active group. Because of the highly active group, no need of concentrated HNO3 such that H2SO4. Simply we can use dilute HNO3 or concentrated HNO3 we can use. Okay, when we use dilute HNO3, what are the products we are going to get? When we use concentrated HNO3, what are the products we will get? We will see. Is it clear, man? Now, when this phenol undergoes reaction with dilute HNO3, we will get a mixture of compounds orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol, in which we will get a mixture of compounds orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. Actually, this is a mixture in which we need to separate the compounds because both are industrially important compounds. That's why we need to separate them. Okay. Depending on what property, we can separate that orthoisomer and para-isomer. Now we will continue that one. But before going to that one, This is electron donating group, which is highly active group OH, reacts with dilute HNO3 only. Because of dilute HNO3, whether ortho position or para position is getting activated, in which we will get orthonitrophenol and para-nitrophenol. Is it okay, ma? Now, how we are going to separate orthonitrophenol and para-nitrophenol? In what way we are going to separate? Let us see that one. This is one molecule of orthonitrophenol. In which hydrogen bonded to oxygen is developed by partial positive charge, and oxygen bonded to nitrogen. Actually, in between oxygen and nitrogen, oxygen is more aerotonated than nitrogen. Because of that, oxygen is developed by delta negative charge, nitrogen is developed by delta positive charge. Then, what is the requirement for the formation of hydrogen bond? That is, a very high electronegative atom must be there, and hydrogen must be bonded to high electronegative atom, like fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen. Here oxygen is there. So these two, this delta negative charge is negative charge, partial negative charge, and this is partial positive charge, are attracted by dipole-dipole attractions, but that is very strong dipole attraction, which is specially called as hydrogen bond. Okay, now this hydrogen bond is formed in the molecule itself. This hydrogen bond is formed in the molecule itself. The type of hydrogen bond is called intramolecular hydrogen bond. This type of hydrogen bond is called intramolecular hydrogen bond, in which we will consider this as one molecule, and if you consider another molecule of orthonitrophenol, between this hydrogen and oxygen, we have intramolecular hydrogen bond, and this is one molecule. Please observe here, between one molecule of orthonitrophenol and another molecule of orthonitrophenol, no strong attraction is present. This is not intermolecular, this is intramolecular hydrogen bond. So, between one molecule of orthonitrophenol and another molecule of orthonitrophenol, these forces are there. Those forces are simply weak van der Waals forces. Those forces are simply weak van der Waals forces. Okay, now as intramolecular hydrogen bond is present in orthonitrophenol, one molecule and another molecule are not strongly attracted, they are weakly attracted with weak van der Waals forces. Please remember, between one molecule of orthonitrophenol and another molecule of orthonitrophenol, we have weak forces. Okay, when we have weak forces, by provision of little bit amount of heat energy itself, that molecules can be evaporated easily, and it will reach that boiling nature fastly. Because of that, it has low boiling point. Orthonitrophenol has low boiling point. Now, coming to para-nitrophenol, which type of hydrogen bond is present? Depending on that, what about the boiling point of para-nitrophenol, we will see. Before that, I hope you understood this one. Once again, between one molecule of orthonitrophenol and another molecule of orthonitrophenol, there is no strong intermolecular force. No? It is present with only weak van der Waals force. Because of this weak van der Waals force, like this, if you take another molecule here, same weak van der Waals force will be there. So this is totally contained by liquid, in which it can be boiled easily. When it is boiled easily, it has low boiling point. This is about orthonitrophenol. Okay, I think you understood this one. Now I will consider this para-nitrophenol. Observe this para-nitrophenol, all of you. This is one molecule of para-nitrophenol. And one more molecule of para-nitrophenol. Now, this is entirely one molecule and this is entirely another molecule in which OH and NO2 are at para positions. They are very far away from each other. Previously, in ortho position, they are nearer to each other. That's why intramolecular hydrogen bond was possible. But now, this OH and NO2 are far away from each other. They cannot be involved in intramolecular, but this NO2 of one molecule and OH of another molecule are nearer by each other. Because of that, this hydrogen and this oxygen are involved in intermolecular hydrogen bond. This type of hydrogen bond is called intermolecular hydrogen bond. Because of this intermolecular hydrogen bond between one molecule and another molecule, we have a strong hydrogen bond. Actually, hydrogen bond is intermolecular force, which is strongest of intermolecular forces. Okay, so between one molecule and another molecule of para-nitrophenol, we have hydrogen bond. Because of that, these hydrogen bonds cannot be broken down easily by simply supplying little amount of heat energy. It requires more amount of heat energy to be boiled off. So, para isomer has high boiling point, ortho isomer has low boiling point. Because of this difference in boiling points, we can separate this mixture by fractional distillation. Ortho-nitrophenol and para-nitrophenol we can separate by using the process called fractional distillation, as they are differentiated by boiling points highly because of difference in intramolecular hydrogen bond and intermolecular hydrogen bond. Ortho-nitrophenol will form intramolecular hydrogen bond, para-nitrophenol will form intermolecular hydrogen bond. Because of this difference in boiling points, we can separate ortho-nitrophenol and para-nitrophenol easily. I think you understood this one. This is completely depending on intermolecular forces. Okay. Now, in ortho-nitrophenol, we have weak van der Waals forces. Because of that, it can be boiled first, low boiling point. In para-nitrophenol, it has high boiling point and it requires more amount of energy to be boiled off. Because of that, what is going to be happen? It has high boiling point and it can be separated later. Means first liquid boil will be ortho-nitrophenol. The remaining liquid in the beaker is para-nitrophenol. Okay. This is about reaction of phenol with dilute HNO3. Now, what about the reaction of phenol with concentrated HNO3? We will see that one. Let us see. These two are coming under nitration only. Now, when phenol reacts with concentrated HNO3, here also no need of concentrated H2SO4, simply concentrated HNO3 is enough. When phenol reacts with concentrated HNO3, this is concentration is increased. Previously we used dilute HNO3, now we are using concentrated HNO3. Now, this OH group will activate all the three positions. Ortho, para, ortho. All the three positions are activated. Anyways, this is electron donating group. Okay. At once all the three positions are activated, we will get 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. That is OH, NO2, NO2 and NO2. When compared to NO2, OH is principal function group. From this carbon we have to give numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On which positions we have NO2 groups? Second position, fourth position, sixth position. So name of this compound is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, which is simply called as picric acid. And this is the compound which is going to be formed when phenol reacts with concentrated HNO3. So when phenol reacts with concentrated HNO3, we will get 2,4,6-trinitrophenol, which is called picric acid, which is also called picric acid. This is about first hydrophilic substitution reaction of phenol with dilute HNO3 and concentrated HNO3. Explanation is required time because we have orthoisomer and para-isomer in dilute HNO3, which is going to be formed. That mixture should be separated depending on one property called boiling point. Okay, para-isomer has high boiling point when compared to orthoisomer because of hydrogen bond formation difference. That is about this nitration reaction. After this nitration reaction, next hydrophilic substitution reaction is bromination. Let us see the bromination reaction. Bromination. Phenol reacts with bromine in the solvent CS2, carbon disulfide. Phenol reacts with bromine in the solvent that is CS2. Actually, this is non-polar solvent because it is completely non-polar. The vapor moment is 0. Okay. So bromine in presence of non-polar solvent. This phenol reacts with bromine in presence of non-polar solvent. What is going to be happening? Only we will get orthoisomer or para-isomer. So OH orthobromophenol plus para-bromophenol. Okay, so we will get a mixture. Phenol reacts with bromine in presence of non-polar solvent CS2. We will get orthobromophenol and para-bromophenol. It is a mixture. Okay, next. When phenol reacts with Br2 in presence of polar solvent, that is water. In this one, bromine can be generated as electrophile easily. That's why all the three ortho-para groups will be activated in bromine reaction with the polar solvent. We will get (2,4,6) tribromophenol. We will get 2,4,6 tribromophenol, which is a white precipitate, and this is used as a characteristic reaction for phenol, because white precipitate means we can recognize with our eyes now. It is used as test for phenol. Because this phenol reacts with bromine in presence of water. Bromine in water, it is a solvent present in our laboratory reagent. Now, simply the given substance, whether it is phenol or not, we want to check. That one phenol will be taken in test tube. Means the given compound is taken in test tube. That is not known as phenol. We don't know. That given compound is taken in test tube. So that we will add bromine water solvent reagent to this one. At once, if white precipitate is formed, that is nothing but 2,4,6 tribromophenol. By that, we can confirm that given substance is phenol, because phenol reacts with bromine in presence of water. We will get white precipitate. That is white precipitate formula, that is 2,4,6 tribromophenol. Okay, ma'am? This is about reaction of phenol with bromine, which is called as bromination. According to our known extent only, ortho para products will be formed. But in presence of this bromine in non-polar solvent, we will get orthoisomer and para-isomer mixture. But when phenol reacts with bromine in polar solvent like water, we will get 2,4,6-tribromophenol. Okay? This is about electrophilic substitution reactions of phenol. Remaining reactions were not discussed. These two are only discussed in our textbook also. Those are first one nitration and second one bromination. Okay, ma'am? By this we completed the reactions of phenols. Actually, sorry. These are two electrophilic substitution reactions we have. Furthermore, we have some named reactions, and what are those named reactions also we will see. Okay, ma'am? Let us see that one. We have named reactions, those are Coles reaction. Then what is this Coles reaction? Phenol reacts with NaOH. Phenol reacts with NaOH. Actually, this is acidic in nature and this is a base mark. We will get a salt, sodium phenoxide. Observe, hydrogen present here and OH present here will be removed as water. Hydrogen present on phenol and NaOH, OH will be removed as water. This Na plus will be substituted, will be getting here to be formed as sodium phenoxide. Name of this compound is sodium phenoxide. Actually, when compared to phenol, sodium phenoxide, this phenoxide is more reactive. When compared to phenol, phenoxide ion is more reactive. Now, it is going to react with carbon dioxide, which is a weak electrophile. Carbon dioxide, which is a weak electrophile. C double bond O, double bond O. This sodium phenoxide is going to react with carbon dioxide to form OH and COOH, OH and COOH, which are in ortho positions. Name of this compound is called 2-hydroxybenzoic acid, because out of COOH and OH, principal function group is COOH. From here we have to give numbering. Second number will be getting to OH2 carbon. Then this is called 2-hydroxy. Remaining entire thing is called benzoic acid. So the name of the compound is 2-hydroxybenzoic acid, and common name is salicylic acid. Common name is salicylic acid. Now this whole reaction is coming under Coles reaction. Actually, here only phenoxide is there. I wrote phenol. It will undergo hydrolysis actually. First step CO2, immediately it will undergo hydrolysis. While it is undergoing hydrolysis, Na plus is substituted by H plus, we will get phenol. OH group again. Okay, ma'am? Now, phenol first reacts with NaOH, we will get sodium phenoxide. That sodium phenoxide is going to react with carbon dioxide. It is a weak electrophile. For that, more reactive phenoxide ion is required. So we converted this phenol into phenoxide ion. This is going to react with carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide electrophile will be attacked at ortho position. We will get this ortho-hydroxybenzoic acid or 2-hydroxybenzoic acid, which is called salicylic acid. Okay, ma'am? Now, how this reaction will be taking place, we can understand easily. Let us see that one. See all of you, this is phenol. In ortho position, H will be there. Every position has H, but actually this is ortho hydrogen is going to be involved, which reacts with, actually this is sodium phenoxide, no? Sorry, Na. Okay, now this is going to react with carbon dioxide. Between carbon and oxygen, which is more electronegative? Oxygen. So the bond is shifted towards oxygen, and oxygen will get negative charge, carbon will get positive charge. Okay, out of double bond, pi bond can be shifted to oxygen. Because of that, oxygen is getting negative charge, but carbon is getting positive charge. Now, here between carbon and hydrogen, this bond is shifted towards carbon. Carbon is getting negative charge, hydrogen is getting positive charge. This hydrogen will be attacked by O minus. This hydrogen will be attacked by O minus. So I will write here negative charge, because this is moved towards carbon. This carbon is getting negative charge. ONA. Here only H plus is also there because the bond is cleaved. Okay. C double bond one bond is cleaved. So C plus is formed. Double bond O minus. Okay. Now this O minus will attack this H plus to form OH. And this carbon minus charge is there, it will attack this C plus. Carbon minus charge will attack this C plus. Finally, we will get ONA as this. This carbon is going to form bond with this carbon, which already contains double bond O. And this O minus is converted to OH, so this is OH, COOH. In ortho position, we got COOH, phenoxide. This is simple conversion. Next, H plus. This one will react with H plus to form OH. This is about formation of salicylic acid. Note down this one carefully. So, this is about complete reaction of Coles reaction. Coles reaction will form salicylic acid. Conversion of phenol to salicylic acid is called Coles reaction. Okay. In the same way, one more reaction we have. That reaction we will see in next class. Okay, ma'am?